Well, maybe this is a good segue to shift into kind of meditation and inner peace, because as you know, one of the doctrines of Buddhism is dependent origination. And as we develop our mindfulness, we're able to kind of follow that chain of events from the hand, metaphorically, the hand, the arm, the person, the karma, whatever. We're able to see more and more the buttons being pushed, the way that our mind is operating, the cause and effect of things, the chain of the unconscious chain of thoughts that just keep going. And when we're able to assert mindfulness into that moment that the button is pushed, you might see the trigger, but if
Mm.
mindfulness is there, then you'll see the dissolution. And then
Yes, you
and then
will.
and then no, in that moment, karma is not created. And so, how does this relate to inner peace?
Because you're not attached to automatic reactivity and to patterns of thought and consciousness and history and conditioning that control you. You've undone them.
Mm,
So it's easier actually to see it in a part of the conflict process, say anger.
yeah,
If you look closely at the arising of a moment of anger, and you look at it in the most easy way to look at it, for example, in the body, in the stomach. You look at the anger as it arises in the stomach as a phenomena. It wasn't there before. Something happens. The stomach contracts, and the stomach then, after a while of anger, the heat rises. You may say words, you may shout, you may do things, but the whole thing arises and vanishes.
right,
It has a very short shelf life.
yeah.
It passes.
Unless we fuel it. If we fuel it, it keeps burning. But with
Yeah.
mindfulness, the shelf life is actually, the fuel diminishes very quickly.
Yes. Yeah. It goes by itself anyway.
Yeah,
Even if you're not mindful, the anger won't stay forever. It'll be
right.
interrupted by a telephone call, and then you've totally forgotten,
Or lunch.
um, or lunch, exactly. But or some other thought.
Sure.
But so anger will always go. The interesting place is when the anger has gone, it opens a space of freedom. If we look carefully at a moment of anger or a moment of an emotion or a moment of attachment, when the attachment passes, you will and you may notice that it kind of disappears into background or into a kind
Yeah,
of uh, just a knowing which doesn't have that strong form in
right.
it.
Yeah.
And that knowing is the kind of default knowing. And that's a peaceful place.
Mm,
It doesn't have strong forms, it doesn't have strong reactivity. So at the end of anger, you can notice quiet. At the end of conflict, you can notice quiet. If you disintegrate conflict, dissolve conflict, you will find yourself in a place of a peaceful awareness.
right.
It will just happen to you that it will be clear that instead of conflict, there is another sea, if you like, an
Right.
ocean
Yeah.
of awareness where you're still there, you're still awake, you're still responding or knowing what's going on to the world, but you're no longer trapped in that strong reactive form. And in relation to that form, it feels very peaceful.
Right.